I mean, let's get the obvious out of the way. Yes, this video is not coming out on the normal day. Apologies for that. I've just lots happened that stopped it, but we're here now. Secondly, we have had a busy summer. We have signed 9 players so far. There could be more, and we're still way over the wage budget. In fact, I think we're spending more this season than we were last season. But my mantra for the summer stayed the same the whole way through. Like I said before the end of the season, this summer was all about one thing: sensible signings on paper. And I think that's what I've done. We might be spending more money, but our season preview has us like bang mid table. This will be a tough year, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. At least I hope so anyway. This is a Quite Average Gamer. My name is Duncan, and welcome back to the Pentagon Challenge. So welcome in, everybody. Now, I actually don't know what the best place to start with this. Let's do a league table. Let's do the season preview. Eighth out of 16 is where we had expected to finish. Last time I checked this, our odds were actually 20. I'm pretty sure they're actually 25 to 1. We've drifted along with Stellenbosch and Amazulu. Some parts of our squad are definitely weaker than they were last season in terms of starting 11, but I'd say it's a stronger squad depth, and some positions are just weaker. None, I would say, are remotely stronger, except from maybe one. In terms of transfers, we're still waiting for this guy, who will hopefully get a work permit to come in as a defensive midfield for defensive midfield for a year. Let's talk about the signings we have done, but let's start with the outs first, because it's been busy. So where do we get to? Larry left to Chippa United for £50,000. Nkosi went to Quetta for £24,000 in Spain. Goodbye, Nkosi. He was sold because we couldn't really afford his wages, I was told. Silahovic has been sold for £17,250. As you can see, his value is a lot higher than that. Especially now, it was even higher than that when we sold him, but it was the right move. I think we have signed another left back. Although the squad weren't happy. I'd already signed another left back when I sold him, and the squad weren't happy with the depth at that point. That confused me. Shotzi went out on loan. Okay, they're all loans. Let's talk about the ends. The ends. So let's talk about the one that I'd mentioned before. This guy. Mguazela? Mguazela. Sam Kello. He is the lad we signed as a right back on a pre-contract from Kaiser Chiefs. He's 5'9". He can play centre back. Hopefully he never does for us. If he does, it'd have to be probably the middle of a back three, I think. But as you can see, decent enough crossing, decent enough pace, but he's probably not going to be down that wing much. And then let's start talking about the other players. We signed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players on pre-contract. The other one was Shotzi. He is away out on loan. Just a youngster who we thought had a decent bit of promise. I couldn't help myself. As much as I don't plan on being here long term, I felt like it was the right thing to do. Alessandro Duplessis is our second choice goalkeeper. Viver will be number 1 for the season. It's a risk, I know, but that's what we're going for. And I've gave Viver the number 1 shirt, so he's no longer number 3. But yeah, he's just a backup who probably won't play much. Eva Nga. Nga is a 33-year-old Cameroonian forward. When he came in, I kind of just wanted him to be a squad player, but we couldn't get him agree to that, so regular starter was fine. And here's why I went for him. Physically, he is great. Natural fitness is good. Jumping reach is good. 13 pace and acceleration. Okay-ish stamina, decent strength, and he's a big boy at 6'3". Mentally, for the role he'll be playing, he has what he needs. Good anticipation, good composure, good decisions, good determination, okay-ish flair, which probably won't come in things too much. Good off-the-ball running, good finishing, okay first touch, and decent heading. I think he'll be a solid signing for us. He's just left Chip United, where he scored 35 league goals in 74 league games. So he's come in for us on a free. Who was next? Keenan. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to pronounce that second name. Keenan has come in to be our second choice left winger, basically replacing... oh, God, what was his name? The player we released. Dlamini. So these are all the people that left the club as well. I forgot to do this, but Zulu, Gabaski, Dlamini, Mathibe, and then a bunch of youngsters other than Gianni. They all left the club, but yeah, he replaces Dlamini in our... I hate how they're not in that all transfers bit. That always bugs me. But Keenan comes in as just a solid left wing option, can play as a winger. And again, maybe not the quickest. He's quickest over shorter yards, 40 acceleration. That 12 pace isn't amazing. But what is solid crossing and dribbling, good first touch, passing and technique. Good off the ball, decent flair, fantastic determination, and good work rate. Again, I think he'll be a solid choice to be that backup for Nyama. After him, it was Macbeth Malangu, who will be our first choice centre-back with 5 jumping reach, and he's 5'10". This is a risky signing, but on paper he is arguably our best centre-back along with Darmanovic, so he will be coming in. He signed on a free from TS Galaxy. So yeah, jumping reach is awful, but physically, okay-ish strength, okay-ish pace, decent natural fitness. But what I do like, even though he's not going to jump the highest, if he does get to head the ball, good heading, good marking, good tackling. So those two there for me. Hopefully he can win the ball on the deck. Darmanovic can be the man in the air. Good anticipation as well, which is good for reading of the game. And good position, which will help, as well as decision making. I think he'll prove to be a very solid signing. And as you can see so far, nobody we've signed this window is on a massive, massive wage. £800, 1.2, 1.2, 1. 1.7 for Macbeth, Malangu. Then we signed Bongani Sam for 2.5, not for 2.5, for free. He's on $2,500 a week. He is our new first choice left back. We signed him and then sold the other lad whose name has just escaped me. Pacey, 14 acceleration, 15 pace, good natural fitness. Maybe not the strongest, but that's okay. Good crossing, which we'll probably need, but decent marking, good tackling. I think he'll be another solid signing for us. He is one of the players now on that high wage that we brought in. And after we brought in Bongani Sam, it was this boy on loan from Stellenbosch. 17 years old, 17 is his shirt number. He will probably be second choice midfielder to Chelly, but he's in on loan. Chris, we're just going to go for Chris. We're just going to go for Chris today. Chris, solid. Physical's fine. Good natural fitness. Again, over short distances, he'll be quick. Okay-ish pace. Great balance, which is good if he's going to dribble. Long shots are poor, but that's fine. He'll be playing as a playmaker. Decision's good. Fantastic determination. That's great for a player who's developing still. Good flair, good leadership. Off the ball is good. So is his vision. Passing isn't the best, but technique is good. As a backup, £400 a week on loan for a year. I'm not going to lie, I'm delighted. And then we have Siabonga Mchali. He is just another backup defender. 6 foot, not the paciest, but good jumping reach. And then again, really solid heading, solid marking, solid tackling, good positioning, concentration, anticipation, and amazing bravery. Again, I think he'll be a very, very solid signing for us. That is all 9 who have come in so far, but our players, if you like, aren't done. They are Sandal Luthuli, a player that we signed in January and put out on loan. He is going to be involved in the squad. £350 pounds a week, 6 foot. Good physicals for his age, outside of pace. We know that aggression is quite high, but we'll try and deal with that. Good determination he might develop. Decent enough marking. Good tackling. He's 17 years old. He actually, we signed him on a free. We put him out to Hanover Park. He's going to be in our squad. I forgot to take him off the under-19 19s. Yeah, under 19, so he's actually playing today, but he should have been in the squad. Other young player that we have promoted, Brian Banda, 18-year-old Zimbabwean international. He is also South African. He came to the club. Sorry, when we came to the club, he was out on loan at Pretoria Calais and didn't play a single minute of football. The following season, we put him back out on loan to Pretoria Calais. Why I did that, I don't really know, but he did play 30 league games for them. He got 1 goal, 1 assist, whatever, that doesn't really matter. But 30 games under his belt in the division below us. He's going to be our first, if you like, backup centre-back. There's a lot of like, but there is a couple of things he needs to work on. So what I like, he's 6'4". He's not the quickest, but he's got fantastic jumping reach. Not the strongest, we can work on that though. Good balance, good fitness. High aggression, which I don't really know how much I think that's good or bad, but what he does have is fantastic bravery, good concentration, decisions, and he's fairly determined. Positioning is good, good marking, good tackling. Heading is a worry at an 8. 15 jumping reach, but 8 heading. Concerning, but he'll play his part this season. Brian Banda has another player. So we've promoted a couple of guys to the first team squad, and this is our lineup for today. We're playing a 4-2-3-1, and only because I don't have enough players that are fit to play a 4-3-3. So in goes is our number 1 Viver. Ricozzo, Darmanovic, Malangu, and Sam make up our back 4 with Chris and Chelly as our central midfield players. We have a couple of problems we need to talk about. Chelly wants to leave at the end of his contract. I am trying to sell him. Guliev wants to leave at the end of his contract. We are trying to sell him, so they two could still leave. Sitgota on the right wing, Inyama on the left wing. Kinyede will play as a shadow striker number 10, with Mokwana leading the line today. Sam Kello, Mchale, Banda, Shinga, Jelly, Keenan, Sefama, Nga, and Duplessis on the bench. Today we're taking on Golden Arrows, and then we'll also be taking on Pretoria Calais, funnily enough. That is what we're doing today. Let's get stuck in. But as you can see, I actually am fairly happy with this squad. This here isn't a good midfield for today's game. We just don't have a ball winner in there or somebody who's going to play deep. Just injuries and me being an idiot not having the young star available for today just means it's not an option, which you probably want against one of the better teams in the league. But hey ho, I've messed up and I can't change it now. So we're going out there and impress me. It's the opening game of the season. The board only want us to be, I think it's top half finish. We're expected to be 8th. So I'm not expecting a great season performance-wise. But what I am hoping is we can hit those goals, and we have to pray that one of the better teams, or one of the better squads, has a howler, and we maybe get to jump ship. The one thing I do want to check is that wage budget again compared to the rest of the teams. Because last season we had the 4th highest wage budget, but we don't have the squad for that, and we still don't. I did kind of consider trying to move on Mokwana, but and I was going to say I never got around to it. It never became a priority during the summer. I was too busy trying to shift off guys who wanted to leave at the end of their contracts on a free, because they become my priority to leave at that point. I'd rather just sell them. If there's no chance of Chelly or Guliev staying on, just go. Like, I don't want you hanging around. Just go. I can replace you. But that hasn't happened, and that kind of became one of my my focus over Mokwana. So Mokwana is still there. Now, I know he can score goals, and I did consider, and I still am, to be fair, going to 2 up top in a formation. That could still happen over the course of the season, because I genuinely think the lad we signed, oh my god, this is awful play. I don't know how we made that so... Oh my god. I think Mokwana and Nga could make a really good partnership up top. That little and large striker, and it's in. Kunyeri with the first goal for the club this season. I think it's only his 3rd goal for us in total. But he gets that ball, strikes it in off the inside of the post. And we get the lead. It's a Chelly header forward, Mokwana with a header, and Kunyeri on the volley hits the inside of that post and gives us a surprise lead here with 9 minutes played. I'll take it. I will take it. I tried to sign Kaya, but he agreed to go to Royal AM instead. I tried to sign Coupe, but he wanted to be a first choice defender. I wanted him to be a squad player. We couldn't agree terms. We couldn't even agree on that, sorry. So the 2 times we tried to negotiate a contract that broke down. So he will not be rejoining me. Chris! Oh, fingertip save apparently from the goalkeeper. He should be bidding the ball from there. I'm sorry. There's no real excuse for that one. Dermanovic, can he get the ball back? He does. Kanyeri again forces a save from their goalkeeper. Kanyeri looks up for it this season. I'm like it. But yeah, what do you... genuinely let me know in the comments down below. I think I have done what I set out to do, and that was sign sensible players not on ridiculous wages, and let's build the squad out, and hoping that from next summer, if we're still here, we can start adding the genuine quality to it. And I think we've done that. I genuinely think we've built a decent, sensibly built squad. And now it's just a case of starting to add those bits of quality that maybe we're missing. So like next year, we definitely will need a right back as one. That was awful defending from us. It's 1-1. Let's just watch this again so I can figure out who I want to be annoyed at. What the fuck happened here? Kanyeri just doesn't even bother tracking his man. It leaves the defence messed up because he's on him. The defensive left him with it. The defensive kind of shifted over that bit because he's there and doesn't track, leaves a space. That's a bit of a problem. But yeah, so there's certain areas that definitely going forward. So like goalkeeper, right back, I would say are the 2 off the top of my head that like straight away we need the quality in there. We know we're losing Chele and Guliev. Dermanovic. We're losing Chele and... Or Sele? It may be Sele, actually. God, who knows how to say it? Doesn't matter. I'm going to call him Chele. Chele and Guliev we know are going to leave at the latest next summer. So straight away we know that's 2 centre mids of genuine quality we need to replace. But things like that now makes it feel so much more manageable when we have an actually solid squad put together. Now, is this a squad that could like easily win the league or get relegated? Yes, it could get relegated, but no, it couldn't win the league. But it's a sensibly built squad. Nobody really is on a ridiculously high wage other than Keenan at left mid. So it's shouldn't be too hard to move guys on if need be in those scenarios. But yeah, I am quietly comfortable with the squad. I just think it's going to be a rough year when we don't have the quality in the areas we need it for first choice. But other than that, genuinely quite happy with what we've done so far. You've not been good enough. Get it together, please, Inyama. So I think Manning is injured. Larry is... Not Larry. Luanga? Our normal DM is injured. So that's 2 options out of our midfield straight away for the today that would have played. Well, Manning probably wouldn't have. Guliev is out injured again. So we aren't really at our full strength as yet. But I'd say we've actually played fairly decently. I am loving seeing Dermanovic playing well. I don't know why. There's sometimes it feels like anytime I buy a guy to be a key player, they take 6 months to settle at any club. And Yama's having a poor game though, which I'm very surprised at. I actually think he's club captain now. Good blocking. Oh, did well there to keep that all out in the end. I think Keenan's going to be coming on shortly. Segota to deliver. Can we get a third? Ricozzo couldn't have kept it down. Unlucky. Unlucky. And Yama's having a torrid time out there, it looks like. Kanyede. Oh, what a goal! I wondered what he was doing, and he just so comfortably places that top corner from what? 20 yards? What a finish from the guy. A guy who I was pulling my hair out with at the very end of last season with some of the misses. But look, he just casually walks in and he just places that in the top corner, curls it in. What a finish. Gives us a 3-1 lead. And Yama is going to come off though. Keenan will come on and that's just a like-for-like swap out there. Although he'll be supporting it more than attack. Sam, that most people now, it's just going to be fitness. We're just going to make that one change, but I'm going to keep an eye on players' fitness and make changes where and if I can. But a 3-1 lead here at Golden Arrows is not what I expected today. Especially playing a formation that isn't really one I expected us to ever use. I had to kind of make it. But we didn't even play it at all in pre-season. It wasn't even made in pre-season at that point. It's 3-2. Because I didn't realise I wasn't going to have a defensive mid for today or other centre mids to play. Poor defending again, but kind of half expecting that at the moment when our goalkeeper also isn't the strongest. Right, Kinyede, who's just having a man of the match performance today. From a guy who was essentially third choice striker, playing as a number 10 because I had no one else to play midfield in any form of like reasonable way or shape. Is putting in a man of the match performance and definitely making me consider keeping this formation. Maybe just dropping the 2 centre mids into 2 defensive mids. But we'll need to see. Ricozzo tries to play the ball forward for Chris, but comfortably held by the goalkeeper. So Fama's going to come on for Gota. Going to bring off Macbeth for Brian Banda. Your centre defender stop. Kinyede is getting a bit tired, so we are going to very riskily go for 2 up top now. You'll be playing as an advanced forward. And we're going to bring on Inga as that poacher. He'll be loving coming off on a hat-trick, I am sure. Yeah, that's it. Going to be a bit more open in midfield now. Going by the stats, a draw would be a fair result, but I don't really want to be thinking of that at the moment. Is Mukwana as small as I think he is? He doesn't look tiny there. Sam does well. I thought he'd messed that up. Although I don't know why I tried to play a crossfield ball. Well done. One touch, passing to break away, and we're still breaking. Keenan now. Looking for an option. Plays it from deep. Inga. That was actually quite unlucky. Fantastic back play from us there. We broke on the counter like we should be. That's how we're trying to play. Very, very well indeed. Very well indeed. Sam is looking knackered. So is Chelly. I'm going to bring on Shingut now for Sam. Sam done well there, other than one little slip up. I see some of the names like, did I have you before? Right, because it just volleys that back up the park. Not even an attempt to play it to any of our players, it was just that Avet. Right, Safama's picked that up. Inga. I don't think he's seen the run of Mokwana. Gets out to Keenan. Back inside for Chelly. Keenan. Mokwana. He might be offside, but that is so unlucky. That's a great bit of movement from the strikers there. I liked how Safama came inside as that inside forward, but he actually did drift right into where the number 10 would be. Something we haven't seen much when we've played them before. Keenan's picked up a tight calf. Keenan tries to head it away. Oh, Vivar, good save. Gives him a corner here for the last... It's got to be the last kick of the ball. If we keep the corner out... Vivar's caught that comfortably. Referee, blow your whistle. And it's done. That is a surprise result. Generally did not expect that. Golden Arrows 2, Sekukun 3. Great performance. We got the result we wanted, and I am... Good result. So, I don't suppose you'll be happy, but there's... for fuck's sake. End broadcast interview. I can't be arsed answering your questions. A surprising win on the opening game of the season. I will take that any day of the week. What I don't like, though, is the beginning of the season when the games just come thick and fast. So we have a game in a couple of days' time already, and then a game a couple of days after that. Let's just praise his performance. What a performance it was. Join me in 4 in-game days as we take on Pretoria Callies in the league. We are here for the second game of the episode, and I haven't done anything. Because I've been stuck in my own head, wondering what to do. See, I'm kind of tempted to go back to the formation that we were going to play this season. You know, the 4-3-3. However, the performance last game has just kind of thrown me that little bit because I wasn't expecting that. And it has made me question a couple of things. Now, Luanga is still out. Manning is still out. Luthuli, the youngster, is back in the game. No, okay, we're going to stick with the same formation in the same shape then. We're going to stick with our current plan. So I'm just making the bench up. So Unchanged said, we're going to play this 4-2-3-1. Let's hope we can get a good result here against Pretoria Calais. Oh man, it's just... Oh, there's our role player. I'm just hoping that once we get everybody fully fit, and also once we sign that other DM who hasn't come in yet, then I think that 4-3-3 definitely becomes more of an option. Probably our preferred formation. But a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2, or more likely a 4-2-4, maybe that's what we go for maybe teams that are maybe bottom half of the table, or maybe teams that are underperforming, just so we can be a bit more, I'm not going to say dominant, because we're still probably going to be playing that counter-attacking style, but just to give us an extra body on that counter-attack, like we kind of do just now. That's the thing that's kind of what helped us against Golden Arrows, having Kinyedi just being that other option in the middle, but close to the striker, did give us a bit of a help on the break. But then we've seen the defensive frailties of it, where he didn't really track back his guy, because it's not really his job, but if we had a defensive mid in there, it might be a bit better. I mean, I'm going to be honest, when I decided that we're going to do counter-attacking style football, I get definitely for this season, I did kind of think about going to I was going to say a back three, but maybe even a back two with a wing back, with two wing backs, maybe like a half back who would sit in between the two central defenders when we're in possession. Like, that was something that crossed my mind. Chris, oh, unlucky. Meant to say that in our last game, when Chris played, he became the youngest ever player for Sekukun. But yes, I did think about changing shape completely going into this season, but we just didn't get the right amount of centre backs that would probably fit that style. This 1-0. He's offside, so it's not 1-0. Kind of disappointed in our crowd. We don't seem to get big crowds whatsoever. I don't think we actually sell that many season tickets. I don't think we're maybe that big a supported team. I'm actually not sure. That's something I'd maybe need to check, just from my own knowledge. I'm not even sure whereabouts in South Africa Sekukun are based, to be honest. That's a good bit of play, Kinyeri. This is the type of counter we need to see. Cuts it back for Chelly, switches it to Sitgoa. Chris, and it's 1-0. Chris's first goal for the club and his first of the season. Might even be his first goal in football at his age. Who the hell knows? But that is a good break. Oh, I'm really liking how this 4-2-3-1 is kind of working for us. The issue being is when we've got Luanga and Guliev back with Chelly, the three of them kind of do all expect to be playing. But I'm really liking this. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not going to make any assumptions. Half the team's already unhappy with me anyway, because of not having another left back. Even though I think Sam is an upgrade on Salihovic, but they're upset we don't have depth. But we do have depth. We have Shinga. It's one of those ones I generally don't get, because we get Shinga and Jelly. So we have the bodies. The opposition are gaining too much time and space between them defence and midfield. I am aware. That's one thing I don't like about FM24 over previous FMs. Like, so the 4-2-3-1 used to always be two centre mids. Now it's two DMs in the base setting. But if you don't play with the DMs, they say there's a big gap. But the gap still exists. You're just moving it. So if you have the two DMs and you have a gap between your wide attacking mids and your defence mids, there's still a gap there to be exploited. But the game doesn't seem to program or understand that gap still exists. It just kind of confuses me a little bit. It's like it's not that big of a deal. I mean, what's the gap? I mean, look, he's playing deep line defense, deep line playmaker on defend. He's right in front of the back four. Like, there's not a major issue. Yeah, if we're attacking, we could get caught out that way. But if we're taking if they're taking the ball out from like a goal kick or a free kick in their own box, something, we're going to be set up close together anyway. I don't get it. I think it's just maybe it's just me being a bit OCD about it all, and the game's just whatever, and I'm just overthinking it. But it doesn't make sense. Going in 1-0 at halftime though, which does make sense, and I like it. Good touch by Chelly. Chris, that's a great ball to sit Gotta. And it's two. I thought he should have cut inside, like again on his left. Also, he had cut inside on his left. I thought he should have cut inside to get more central. And thank Christ he didn't listen to me, because he buries this in the back of the net. Look at this first time pass from Chris. Knows he's running. Gotta takes a great touch. Do you know what? I think I stand by what I said. He probably should have took that extra step inside. His shot comes off the centre back, takes it by the keeper. Keeper's already dived, and it is 2-0. But I'll take a 2-goal lead anytime against anybody going in to the second half. Now Inyama is having a bad game again. Mokguana's not having the best game either. Just telling them to play a bit better. Keep an eye on both of them, so will, and see if we need to make those early changes. Obviously, my face is currently covering their match ratings, the same as Kunyedi's. So you're not going to be able to see what the rating is. That's one thing about recording Football Manager. There's no good place for my face to go. There really is no good place on the screen. Nyama cuts it across Mokguana. Chris, I don't know why he played that high ball across. In that situation, with the striker we're playing, you just play it low and hard across the ground. The defender could tap it in by accident, or if the striker gets a toe on it, you expect it to go in. Chris unlucky with the initial rebound from the chance. Did give us a corner, which we obviously haven't created anything from. I've gave him the captain's armband, and he seems to be struggling under the weight of it. Kenyedi, though, looks absolutely knackered, which is a little bit of a concern. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go 2 up top just now. Boop. But when we go 2 up top, it probably won't be for that long, because I plan on then I'll probably take Mokguana off if his performance doesn't improve, and we'll just switch to a number 10. We'll put the youngster in there. And that's going to take Nyam off as well, just early. Keenan, he can come in and plays that winger, gives that bit of width. And on support, Ricozzo's actually pretty tired. I didn't even notice that initially. Tired and on a booking. Chris is tired. Where's the other youngster we signed on loan? Did I not sign 2 centre mids on loan? Where's the other one? Oh, he's on my bench, that's fine. Isn't he? Oh, is that centre back I signed on? I thought I signed 2 centre mids. Did I miss out on a player I didn't realise? No, I didn't. It's injuries, because Manning, Guliev should be the other 2. Chelly and Chris might be the playmakers. Yes, it's fine. My mind is back and working. I'm going to take off Mokguana for... Where is he? Luthuli. And that's us now switching to that ever faithful 4-3-3. I think he's a ball in midfield on defend, if I remember correctly. He is. Ricozzo we're going to take off for Sankello. He will come on, just slot in, not back in. Slot in and make his debut. Chris is tired and I have no options to sub him off. That's a bit of an issue. No, it isn't. We're going to bring on Safama. Safama's going to play as an advanced playmaker, and we'll just drop to 2 defensive mids. Chelly can play as that deep line playmaker on defend, beside a ball winning midfielder defend. And Luthuli, And that's how we'll shape up for the rest of the game. Half an hour left. Some players are on pretty tired legs. I'll need to rest them before our Super 8 Cup game. Or whatever the hell it is. Has a cup game, right? Or is it a league? I can't remember now. But 20 or so minutes to hold on to a 2-goal lead. You would expect this is a game we should be winning. Oh, we're so lucky that that stayed out. But when we're playing counter-attack, that means we are going to invite pressure. And it's 2-1. Poor defending from us. Poor defending from us. 20 minutes remaining. Poor defending from us. And now puts ourselves under some pressure. This is not ideal. Not ideal. Keenan is now injured, which is even less ideal. Sitgota will go on the left. Safama will go on the right. Keenan will go, in theory, to that number 10 slot we won't be playing, but that's where we're going to have the gap on the pitch. Hopefully it's not serious. He did pick up a knock in the last game as well, but he got over it for this one. I don't really want to have to go and get a winger on loan to kind of cover both positions if we're going to start hitting injuries this bad. Thule. Malangu. It's a good ball for Safama. Cuts it back. Our defensive mid is not hitting that ball. We get the win. It's 2-1, which is the main thing. Another 3 points on the board. 6 points out of 6 so far this season. Let's have a look, see how bad that injury is. 4 to 5 weeks, of course it is. Fuck. Okay, we're going to come back for whatever the last... We're going to come back for... We're going to come back for the Sundowns game. So I'm going to go away. I'll play the Golden Arrows game in the quarterfinals of Super 8. I'll play Amazulu. We'll come back for Sundowns and Super Sport United. And we'll see if we made any other summer signings. We know there's hopefully one in the bag in Dunga, as long as his work permit gets done. But we'll see what else I maybe manage to do. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a thumbs up. It immensely helps out the channel. I will see you on the next one. Take care.